Hi folks, another update today on the actually Dynamo of the Fordson tractor. The Fordson tractor I pulled apart and it is in a quite very sad state, I must say. The brushes are not too bad, but as I said before, with the alternator, the cotton wire, cotton wrapping around the field coils disintegrated. I have taken out the field coils now and removed the actual cotton wrapping around it, as you can see here. Unfortunately, the actual insulation, this wire is lacquered, so it's insulated from each other when it was wrapped around. However, I sort of tested with an ohm meter there any conductivity across the windings to one of those leads, and unfortunately it does connect. So as you can see maybe from the discoloring, it got hot. When it got hot, it basically melts lacquer and shortens out. This is one which I also pulled apart. Unfortunately, as you can see, it's completely useless now. It just fell apart basically when I took it off the metal feed coil holders, I suppose you call them. Now, I know what the weights are of the coils, and let's just get that up and running. So the weight is about, I don't know if you can see that, it's about 336 grams roughly. Actually, the other one, this one here, weighs a little bit less. Also, I measured before, as I said before, across the terminals to see what the resistance is across the field coils. And it showed me between 3.5 on one coil and 2.6 on the other, which is more than 10%, which is really allowable as a tolerance. So in any case, they are pretty much stuffed. So I calculated out with that formula here. This is the volume by pi times r square, which is the radius, times square, multiplied by the height. So what I actually wanted to know is the length of that coil. Obviously, it will be very tedious to measure that up in with a meter or with a measuring tape. So therefore I just weighted it. So I know the weight, I know the density of copper, which is 8.96 grams per cubic centimeters. And with that formula I basically determined how long it will be. I know the diameter. The diameter is obviously easily obtainable from the wire itself, which you then halve because it's a radius, so you halve that and you square that. And I came to a result of about 73 meters, 73.3 meters per coil, more or less, I suppose. With the actual armature here and the commutator of the inner part of the dynamo of the tractor, I am not 100% sure. It looks alright. I can't see any burnt marks. The commutator here looks in a quite reasonable state. It's maybe a little bit black, but that can be easily, I suppose, cleaned up. I don't know what that little mark is here. This is actually the first time I see it, but anyway. I will clean it up. I will pull it apart, sandblast maybe the cover here, and I will be making a wooden template to rewind my wires onto the template. I have roughly the thickness of this good one, so I know roughly the what the template needs to be. I also know the diameter, the square diameter on the inside of the coil, so I can wrap that around like a wooden template, and then I probably spray it, which I still have to get is a animal which bakes into the coils and holds it together. Again, like with my previous video, I will be using the glass cloth type from 3M, which is quite good. I believe it's quite good. It's glass cloth electrical type. Class B insulation. It is actually a high temperature type with thermosetting pressure sensitive adhesive. It will operate at 130 degrees, which is quite high. So I thought, well, this is a temperature which I hopefully never have in the Dynamo, so it will be quite safe. So in the end, when I have done the reconditioning or restoring of the Dynamo of the Fordson Major, I will be wrapping that coil with a glass cloth, as mentioned before. Yeah, that's all to that. Bits and pieces of the Dynamo. I had quite a bit of difficulties separating the Phillips head screws from the case, which everything is quite dirty. I mean, you can see actually in here also in my rubbish bin the cloth, which basically completely disintegrated. Also down there you see the dirt which actually fell out of the case, and that is the Dynamo case in here, and you see the dirt inside there. So that all needs to be cleaned up, and once I've done that, I will be wrapping and winding by hand, if I get the copper wire, that is, and it should be relatively, hopefully easily obtainable. We'll be rewinding the field coils, and with that I will be probably using my battery drill, center the template for the coils winding in a battery drill, and then wind it off by hand slowly but carefully. And I hope with that I will be make the Dynamo work again. I think it's sort of important, if you restore a tractor, that you keep the original parts as much as you possibly can. I know that a lot of people are using an alternator instead. This is my second option if this one fails. I hope it doesn't, and I will be working with a working Dynamo on my tractor. Okay, that's all. See you next time, and bye for now.